You know what they say, opposites attract. False. There's actually no evidence to support that whatsoever. There was actually a study that was done in 2005 by the University of Iowa and a couple doctors. And what they ended up finding out was that birds of a feather flock together is actually more the case, especially when it comes to marriage. They actually took 291 couples and did this study on them. So completely legit. Now they did the study with 291 newlyweds, and I'm pretty sure that they were all married for less than a year, but they had been together for an average of about 3.5. So when they were doing this study and looking at attraction, they were basing it off of attitudes, beliefs, and values, the moral and religious kind. And then they also factored in personality. What they ended up finding out was that people tended to have very similar beliefs and values, but their personalities kind of differed. And that's what I mean when I say that opposites don't attract. And you might be asking yourself, well, how did they actually go about testing someone's personality? I mean, what is a personality in the first place? Well, I'm glad you asked. According to the American Psychological Association, personality refers to the differences in the way that people essentially think, feel, and behave. The actual study of personality focuses on two really, really broad areas. Number one is the understanding of individual differences in actual thought processes. And number two is the individual differences in sociability or irritability, essentially how you deal with other people. Well, can you change your personality? Well, actually, yeah, you can. It's just really, really difficult. That being said, just kind of my own personal thought, it's kind of a disservice when you take someone who's less than 8 years old and you start to tell them about the world and what the world actually is based on your own personal experiences. I mean, think about it. In the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, all children are foreigners. And when you put that type of belief on them and tell them about the world around them when they haven't had a chance to discover it yet, well, you're kind of taking away their ability to imagine. And if you want to hear more about that, well, there was a great TED Talk that was done a few years back that I think you might like. With all that being said, I think it's really, really important to stress how much children like this or like this.
Oh, this bitch.
Cuss me out. Come on. Cuss me out.
You're an ugly ass fucking bitch.
You too. What do you think this thing can do?
You ain't
Kill
cute.
your motherfucking ass.
Will be like that for the rest of their lives. I mean, unless they decide to consciously change. Like they really are gonna have to try. And yes, you watching this video, you're subject to change too from subliminal messaging and whatever you expose yourself to, including those people that you hang around with. I mean, how does that make you feel? Kendra Cherry, who's actually the psychological expert at abouthealth.com, did an article on this last year. And for any of you that decide that you're not going to click on that link about Kendra Cherry, let me just tell you one huge thing. Even though your personality can change consciously, it can also change unconsciously. And all it is a matter of who you're hanging around, the people you surround yourself with, and the things that you watch and the things that you do. There's subliminal messages everywhere. And there's actually videos on that too, where there are people who work for advertising and marketing agencies who do this for a living, and they talk about all of these subliminal messages. When people talk about brainwashing, it's a real thing. Now, whether you choose to believe it or not is completely up to you. But that doesn't mean it's not happening. The world's not flat. I mean, this can even determine your self-efficacy. Now, what is self-efficacy? Well, to put it short, just because this video is getting kind of long and I want to make things brief, it's whether or not you feel like you can actually do something. I mean, there are people that decide that they have these awesome ideas or these awesome aspirations and they don't even try. And you may even be included. And the reason why is because you feel like you can't get it done. But if you surround yourself with the right people, or just watch the right videos, or listen to the right music, your whole mindset can change. I don't know, something to look into. And I'm not saying that sexual orientation is something that's determined solely by what you're exposed to between the ages of 0 and 8, but 20% of homosexual men said they didn't even have thoughts for another guy until about 10 years old. At least that's what Savin Williams of University of Chicago in Missouri ended up finding out in 2005 through his research. If you like this video, please subscribe. If you're already a subscriber, then click that thumbs up and leave a comment below. Peace.